Hello, it's Scott Manley here, looking at Star Citizen. The point 0.9 update to Arena Commander just dropped today, and yeah, if you patch it will probably take you an eternity, but that's just the nature of the game. I hate to think how long a full download takes. But one of the things they've added is this new asteroid hangar. They actually revamped all the hangars, but a select few people, depending upon what you've bought, what kind of ships you have, will have access to this really run-down industrial asteroid hangar, which is supposed to be what the pirates get. So if you have a Drake Cutlass, then this is what you'll get. I'm not sure what I had to get it, because all I've got is a Constellation. I got all these ships, but none of them specifically said they were coming with the asteroid hangar. I do have access to all the other hangars, and now from the web page you can change which one you get. So all of them are revamped, and I might take a look at those in another video, but let's just take a look around up here. We have apparently an engine sitting up here, but somebody's knocked it out of shape. That doesn't look like it's in particularly good condition. I would not put that on a spaceship and make it work. Frankly, I think that most of this hardware would be condemned because it doesn't seem like anything's working. I mean, God, I've got a swanky 350R, like, I've got the luxury model of the Aurora, I've got the luxury model of the Constellation, and I can't even be bothered to make my sofa straight. Something doesn't fit for me. I should probably go over and get one of the other hangars, the business hangar maybe. But yeah, everyone had been waiting for the asteroid hangar, so of course it does stand to reason why you would pay the most money for this. Yeah, if you don't have a ship that comes with it, then you need to spend $50 for it. I'm not sure I would spend $50 on it. I would put that money towards some other ship if I was still doing that. Or I would do something else, honestly. Or I would make do, perhaps. There's an idea. Okay, so yeah, that's my Hornet. Is that the trainer, or is that the regular? Oh, no, that's my Super Hornet. And down here we have my Aurora, and we have my 350R. Now, the 350R has become an actual ship that you can fly, so I believe I have lost access to my 300i, which is a derivative, or the 300i is the base model, and the 350R is the racing version of it. Now, the 350R was originally offered as a limited time upgrade, which was a racing version, right? And the only other spacecraft that was a racing version that has been offered is the M50. The M50 is also a limited ship. Now, this version, 0.19, they added racing mode. So they've put both of these things back in the store, and this morning they said, oh, these are going to become permanent additions to the store, at which point a bunch of people who were clearly too invested in things said, no, you can't make my limited ships an unlimited permanent ship. That would cause all sorts of, cats and dogs sleeping together in Armageddon. So apparently, no, they're available to buy if you want them for a limited time. Okay, so I'm just going to try and pick, I'm just going to try the racing mode. I guess 350R is the way to go, so hit return. I'm having the mouse, is doing this weird glitchy thing and doesn't seem to want to work, so I'm just going to use the keys to select Drone Sim, and gotta somehow get there. Free Flight, Vandal Swarm, Classic Race. Well, yeah, Free Flight, okay, that's the options. And we have on left, what options do we have? We have Rickard Memorial Raceway, we have Defford Link, and Old Vanderval. I think I'm going to go with Vanderval because I like the forces involved. Ha 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 ha! That is a nerd joke there. Why can't I find that? There it is, launch. Let's see how long this takes to load. Okay, and off we go, full thrust hitting the afterburner, which is now actually the boost button, because technically it boosts everything, and skipping around there, and... Okay, that didn't work so well. Right, well this is me trying to fly with my X52 Pro, which they say is supported but isn't actually supported. What they support is the X52, and if you use that mapping then your strafe controls are in a completely different position. Okay, and the other thing is it doesn't seem to pick up the throttle until you actually move it, so I was sitting at max throttle there and it wasn't moving. Okay, come on! Okay, that's us going. Okay, now where are we? Where's the next turn? The next turn's this way, and okay, so I'm trying to remember what I knew from dogfighting. So dogfighting taught me in Star Citizen that pitching up and down were likely to make you black out or red out, but yawing didn't have that problem. So I'm trying to yaw wherever possible instead of pitching! Oh, crikey. Wait a sec, I'm totally going the wrong way. Where am I? Where is my gate? That looks like the finish line. And there we go there. Whoa! No, not fine, not good. Not good, where are we? And try not to crash into somebody's backyard. Apparently people seem to have all these luxury homes right next to a racetrack where spaceships are flying around it. Well, not even Mach 1, it's only 300 meters per second. Although, what they've done is they've rebalanced the whole ship model, and they've basically said that your top speed is now what your old Afterburner top speed was. Let's try and turn around and get that. And boost is now replacing Afterburner, and it enhances all your maneuverability, because it just didn't really make sense to have this boost thing that only boosted the main engines travelling forwards when every engine was clearly as powerful as that main engine. So yeah, that does actually do an interesting thing. Okay, let's try and thread the needle here. Thread the needle. Oh, look at that. Boosting through. Okay, so if you're racing, the other thing to realise is that because of the way they've changed boost to affect all the turn controls, it means that you really want to be boosting during the corners rather than on the straights. If you drive like or fly any other, you know, racing game like F-Zero or where is it? Wipeout. That played me, love that game. You would use your boost when you're on the oh god, look at that oscillation there. Man, the joystick still has this awful dead zone before it kicks in. And then the other thing is, you'll notice the velocity vector seems to only update at like a third of the frame rate or something. So if you watch as I turn, the velocity vector that comes up kind of jitters its way up there. And I think that's because they've deliberately slowed it down for the network protocol to make sure that going across the network makes it fast. Anyway, what I was saying is you want to use the boost on the turns, not on the straights, because the boost will help you make that extra turn that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. So if your velocity vector, if you're pointing at a gate and your velocity vector is not pointing at a gate, hold down the boost key. It obviously would help to have strafe keys that worked correctly. I also tried it with mouse and keyboard, and oh, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. This, oh god, wow, that weird, when I get into that oscillation effect, I seem to slow myself down without touching the throttle. The keys on the keyboard for strafe, because they originally didn't have 6 degrees of freedom assigned to the flight model, the keys are kind of keys they hadn't previously used, which means they just don't make that much sense. I've got Q and E and R and F for strafing, and oh no! Oh crikey, yes, that will ruin my nice paint job. Okay, where's the gate here? Come out over the top here. Oh, look at, oh, stylish move there. I could almost pretend that was a barrel roll if such a thing actually made sense. Oh! And I crashed into somebody's porch barbecue. Okay, let's go and practice with a slightly easier ship. Hello, we're now flying the Aurora, which tops out at 150 meters per second. So that is basically half the speed of the 350R. So I'm going to just try to throttle my way through this at full speed. Okay. Interesting thing, incidentally, I've noticed is that you can't eject. So you can't like eject and walk around and walk into people's front yards and say, "Hello, I'm a famous racer. Give me a hot dog and a steak," or something. No. That's a shame, because I'd really like to get a closer look at some of these buildings, but never mind. Yeah, so you can fly your Aurora if you like, and it just will be absolutely rubbish. and everybody else, if you play in a multiplayer online game, anybody with any other ship is going to be completely outmatching you, even if they have a 300i. The Hornet will be faster, and then the M50 and the 350R will be the fastest ships. If you don't have those, then you just will not be competitive in online racing. You can, of course, now arrange private matches using friend codes, so if you want, you can set up a private match with you and your friends and just fly Auroras if that is what you want. Oh, there we go. This is flying the second level course, incidentally. There's more gates in this, so it's slightly longer, and the turns are a little harder. But since it's an Aurora, I'm not going to be blacking out or redding out, regardless how hard I try. Notice that I haven't even touched the flight computer settings. Previously, you know, I was switching these things on and off to get maximum performance, and there's probably still some scope for it, but now that we do actually have some limited amount of strafe controls and stuff like that, there's less need for those to muck around with those things, to be honest. I'm at least happy on that front. You know, it is definitely an upgrade to what we had. Don't get me wrong here, I just think that there's still got a long way to go, and there's also a few decisions that I've heard with this version that have really annoyed me. They've took away the console commands to disable motion blur and things like that. To get motion blur, you have to go in and you have to basically create a config file and make it load that. There was absolutely no reason for that, and whoever did that should be shot, because it just annoys people and doesn't actually gain the developers anything. I also read about TrackIR. Now, the developer, he said, oh yeah, we implemented that and added it in, and then we disabled it because it was immersion breaking. You could put your head outside the cockpit. To what I say, God forbid we have buggy software in an alpha game. I mean, seriously, that really annoys me as well. So they've got the support in there, but they have disabled it because somebody thinks it's immersion breaking. And that really annoys me, because of course Elite, when it added it, like for their Christmas release, they had that problem. Didn't bother everyone. Everyone's like, ah, I can stick my head out of the spaceship. Well, that's fun for like 5 seconds. Now let's go back to playing the game. Okay, checkpoint 12 of 16, and I haven't hit any of them. Doing an amazing time of 3 minutes so far. I wonder if I can beat the 4-minute mark. I've got how many left to go? I'm in first place as well, which is a good sign since there's only me. The online matchmaking servers, those have been hard to get onto. Sometimes they've been down, sometimes they've just been taking forever, and then sometimes they've been glitchy. I'm sure it will get better, but I just wanted to show you the racing mechanic. And so I ended up just playing, you know, practice laps. So this is what happens if you do the drone sim. You get, in the drone sim, you just get flying on your own. You don't race against AI. 347! Not bad! Now perhaps it's time for me to go back to the 350R and see if I can do a little better. Okay, ready? X-Wing ready? Take a look around here. Aha! So there is a little bit of motion that I can get by holding down the Alt key, but unfortunately it's not TrackIR. There's my beautiful spacecraft, which doesn't actually appear to have the yellow stripes here. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, X-Wing ready. Everyone is ready, that is me, because I am everyone in this game. 5, 4, throttling up, boost enabled, and go! Look at this. Brilliant, 300 meters per second before I hit that first gate. Okay, so yawing, when you can do it, is preferable to pitching, because you're gonna... Oh, okay, I kind of messed that one up. Yawing is preferable because you will black out less. Boost during the corners, that will really help. And try to go fast the whole time. I'm sure you can fly this in Hornet. I think it's slightly faster than the Aurora, but not as fast as the 300i. Okay, and for people that are just Aurora level backers, I understand that at some point you will have the option to switch from the Aurora to the Mustang, and the Mustang has a racing variant, the accelerated mass driver, so I don't know. It's AMD because originally it was skinned and sold or made available as part of an AMD graphics card promotion. Although it's not in the game as yet, you can redeem it through the AMD store. Look at this. I'm doing serious a good time. 1 minute and I'm through 6 of these gates. Just a few more to go. Perhaps I can get it under the minute 30 mark. Yes, this is really starting to work. Redding out or blacking out just a bit there. Okay, look, here's the final gate. Can I get it under 130? Gate 9, 121. Come on. Full speed ahead. Oh, yes. 127.88, followed by a rather ignominious crash. And death. Well, that's great. Let's go back and look at the other hangars. Okay, so let's take a look at the other hangars. This is the budget Selfland hangar. Well, as far as I can tell, I've only got 3 of my spacecraft in. I don't have my Freelancer or my Constellation in this. I mean, those never were in this hangar originally, but I'm surprised that I can't find them anywhere. I thought there might be a door or something. I thought these doors might open, but apparently they don't. However, at least this hangar, despite being a little dirty, at least the consoles seem to be working. Look, there's some sort of orbit. They're obviously, looks like they're playing Kerbal Space Program. They are trying to plot a transfer, and unfortunately I can't pull these cables out. I wonder if I can jump over this. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, you know, they get some nice sound effects and stuff going on in the background. Here's an elevator. Let's take it down. Oh yeah, or just jump. And then just jump out. Come on, I want to get out of here. No, I don't want to go all the way up. Let me out. Oh, darn. Let me off, I tell you. I want to get off of this. Nah, they put the invisible wall up so that I have to follow this thing up. Okay, now let's try getting back on. And it's going to go all the way down. Now, the old budget hangar had like a ladder that you could climb up to see over your 2 spaceships. The only ships that came with the budget hangar, I believe, were the Aurora and the 300i. So seeing a Hornet in here is interesting, because normally that wouldn't ever be seen in a budget hangar. That's not one. Oh yeah, here's my little thing in the corner here. Do we have a door? We have our fish tank. Still with only the 1 or 2 fishies in it. We have the one guy, which I don't want to be. We have my towel. Oh, can I use my towel? What is that supposed to do? I used it. Oh, I see. It changed the graphic to make it dirty. Because apparently I am a dirty individual. Okay. Well, let's go and take a look at the other hangars. Okay, so this is the AeroView business hangar. This was the hangar that comes if you have the Freelancer or the Hornet. And yeah, it's cleaner than the previous 2 hangars, but it's not super fancy. It's very utilitarian and stylish. I do in fact like this one the best, I think, so far. It doesn't seem to be full with a bunch of rubbish. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Oh, now this is stylish. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, wow, the whole display comes out and everything as I turn up. Because, of course, it's very important to have screens that stow away when nobody's in the room. I'm not really sure why that is needed, but nevertheless, I do kind of like it. Coffee cup that's been left here, and shield energy and things like that they're looking at. Obviously doing some analysis on the constellation that's down there in front of us. The Constellation Phoenix, one of the more expensive ships in the game, which I had to buy, or I had to acquire, let's say, for research purposes. Let's move and see if we can find... Oh, there's my fish tank down there. That's where we keep that stuff. And my other stuff. I don't think I can get over the edge, unfortunately. Yeah, still... This is definitely a nice hangar. I think I don't see any need to upgrade. I mean, it's nice that you can switch between the hangars, let's say, between... it's nice that you can switch between the hangars without buying new ones. And this is the Revel and York Luxury or Deluxe hangar. So you can see my ivory white Constellation Phoenix sitting in an ivory white. hangar with wood accents. It's kind of like someone saw 2001 and thought that the Discovery would look a lot better with wood accents. Anyway, I'm going to try and get this joystick set up a little better, and then we'll maybe actually try some flying and shooting so you can see the new sound effects, new co-op mode and things like that. That'll be in the next video. Until then, I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.